Our dynamic always changes, I think, but it's always just the two of us in some kind of combination. But sometimes Alice will start an idea, and then I'll get a hold of it, and I'll do something with it, and we'll just kind of play back and forth a lot of the time. And sometimes, she'll have a song almost already written, and vice versa.
It just depends on each song, like whether it was for the first record or for this record. It's always been, two of us in some way, whether it's just you put on the final touches or you do the whole thing.
I wanna be wherever you are, asleep in the backseat.
I think our new record is much more like the record we wanted to make. When we made our first record, it was kind of we just started writing together, and we just decided to record it straight away, as opposed to think about how we could kind of develop it into something else. It was more just about discovering we could write songs together. And this time around, from touring that record for a year or two with it, we found it quite hard, just being on the road and playing with bands that had a full setup and trying to compare and make enough noise just with the two of us. So we felt like we really were kind of jealous of all the bands that had drummers. So we came back and wrote a record with drums and bass, and a record that we wanted to play for the next year or two. Normally we don't always agree on how a video should be, but we would totally just saw these dancing bears, and
we didn't think they were that scary, though.
We were thinking of more like a Care Bear, like that kind of bear. And so we emailed a couple of directors, and we were like, we're thinking about doing this video in the desert with these kind of menacing dancing bears. And most people replied kind of like, yeah, or we could try this treatment I've come up with. And this guy, Danny Perez, who we're a really big fan of his videos of Animal Collective, replied straight away with an amazing drawing of a bear costume, the scariest bear you've ever seen. We were like, yeah, this guy, he's our guy. He totally saw what was in our heads.
Yeah, it was better than what was in our heads. It was a bit more rock and roll, which I think was better than cute bears.
Yeah.
I don't feel that we feel like there's a whole lot of pressure on us in regards to following up our first record. I think a lot of the pressure that we feel is mostly from us. And the label, we're with Mute, independent label, who are really happy for us just to do what we want to do. And that's exactly what we did with the first record, which was kind of a strange record. And
yeah, I think we're in a pretty lucky position where we are allowed to totally change our sound for the next record. I mean, most bands, if you're on a major label, it's going to be a bit more strict. If you've had a successful first record, they're going to want you to kind of repeat the same thing. But it was really great for us to just be able to turn around and show them these demos of something completely different, and for them to be like, yeah, okay, you can record that.
It was good. I think that's what the reaction was like.
Yeah, you can try.
No, but it worked. I'm happy with it. And
Driving in your car, I wanna be wherever.
what's going to happen after this record? I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Hope in an ideal world will be, we love touring. We'd be happy to tour it for as long as we can. And we're not one of those bands that doesn't want to play live. I don't know why you'd want to do that.
I think we'd be happy if we just kept creating. As long as we can keep creating things, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's just to keep making something.